The big story coming out of this week is that the Dallas Mavericks, with a 1.8% chance to land the number one overall pick, landed that number one overall pick. The Mavericks, who just 3 months ago made one of the most head-scratching deals in NBA history when they trade Luka Doncic for an injury-riddled Anthony Davis and one first-round draft pick, now are in line to get Cooper Flagg. I mean, what was your reaction when the Mavs landed at number one?
I mean, it was sort of an of course thing, right? Like the perfect reality show. Look, I think you couldn't have scripted a better number one pick for Dallas to get than this one, because Cooper is so ready to play, right? He's a guy that I think they're going to be able to bring in, and he'll help defensively. He'll be able to score. He'll be able to create for others. He fits with an older team that wants to win, and Dallas has made very clear that they want to play defense, they want to win. But he also gives you the long-term upside, right? I think the one concern, I remember we were both in Vegas when we saw him and saw Cooper play in November against Kansas, and the question at that point was, is Cooper going to be a guy that can really score in the NBA? Is he like a 20-plus per game guy? Is he a guy that can carry a franchise offensively? I think he answered a lot of those questions throughout his season at Duke, especially down the stretch. I thought his ACC play and then obviously into the tournament was phenomenal. And for Dallas, you sort of marry these two timelines, right? Now you have the push to win right now with Kyrie and AD, and now you have your franchise cornerstone for the future.
Yeah, I watched a lot of Cooper more on tape over the last few weeks, and the second half of the season is really when it all kind of clicked for him. Like struggled some from three-point range early, but played exceptionally well. Had so many breakout moments. That 42-point game against Notre Dame. Who was it? Had a 17-14 game. I think it was Virginia that he did that against. And even though he missed that final shot, and we all talk about the collapse in the national semifinal, dude had 27 points in that game, 3 of 5 from three-point range. Like on the biggest stage, he showed up. So I agree with you. I mean, you look at the potential of a Mavericks lineup with Cooper Flagg, with AD, with Derek Lively, with Flagg playing the three. We think he's a three at the NBA level.
I think he's a 3-4.
Yeah,
like, I think you'll
which
see
is
him.
actually perfect for Dallas.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Dallas, you're going to, whether he likes it or not, you're going to slide AD over to that center spot for consistent minutes, and I think Flagg is ideal to play opposite him at 4.
Yeah, I think the fit is great. I think, again, all the winning stuff that he does is rare for a top pick. Right? Like, look, talent-wise, he is a high-level number one pick, but I think what has really separated him throughout the process, what has separated him really in the eyes of NBA people since he first went on the radar when he was 15, was the fact that he does so much to impact winning possession to possession, play to play. And so again, for Dallas, the defense has a chance to be elite, and the opportunity to bring him along offensively, right? And not force him into, all right, here you go, you're tossed into, I don't know, Washington or Charlotte, where, all right, now it's all you. Like, the opportunity to bring him along, I think, is going to be great for his development. I think it helped him at Duke to be thrown into the fire a little bit, but he also had tons of talent around him. And I think long term, the opportunity to get into the NBA and be a star in his role early on is probably going to be really good for Cooper Flagg.
I mean, with him at 3, Klay Thompson at the 4, and look, everything with Dallas is done with the backdrop of Kyrie, his injury.
Yeah.
Had ACL surgery in March. That's usually a 9 to even 12-month timeline, so don't know when he's going to be back and ready to play. But that's a team that just remarkably reopened the championship window. That window that looked like it was open for one half against the Houston Rockets when Anthony Davis was healthy after the trade. That window has been reopened now, and I think it's a great fit for him. And I think for Cooper Flagg, I think one of the things that concerned him and the people around him going to this draft was how he would deal with losing. Like, he's just not used to it. Like, he's succeeded at every single level that he's been at. And you can probably say a lot for a lot of players at that level going to the draft. But I think there was some wariness about, hey, you go to Utah, a couple of years of rebuilding, go to Charlotte, same sort of situation. Washington, you go to Dallas and your expectations to win right away. I think he's going to thrive in that type of environment. The question, and look, I think there's a 90% chance they draft Cooper Flagg. 10% chance, not on somebody else, but on a trade. Because Giannis is out there, right? Like, Giannis, Shams Charania has said on ESPN a couple of times, and I agree with him. I've heard, like, this is the summer of Giannis. Like, this is, I've been preaching on this podcast for months now, or really weeks, I guess. Rachel Nichols has been sitting there saying, this is the time to trade Giannis Antetokounmpo. You're not going anywhere next year in Milwaukee. Giannis has got 2 guaranteed years left in his contract. Damian Lillard is out for the season. You got to strike while the iron is hot. Dallas would be an interesting fit for Giannis. And Dallas kind of fits that timeline of you're trying to create a 4-year-ish championship window. You put Giannis alongside AD, you put him alongside Kyrie, you put him alongside Klay Thompson. All of a sudden, you're talking about a pretty dynamic team that is championship ready the second Kyrie Irving gets back in the lineup. The question is, does Nico Harrison have it in him to trade the number 1 overall pick for a guy where most GMs tell me, like, look, he's not Victor Wembanyama, but he's the next level. Like, he's a surefire frontier all-star, all-NBA caliber talent for the next decade plus. Where do you stand on that? Like, is he kind of is this pick kind of a no trade zone for you, or do you think there's value in at least considering it?
Look, I think when someone like Giannis is available, you have to think about it, right? Like, he's one of the best players in the league. I think for Dallas, I would have such a hard time. Like, you've just been given this gift of a long-term, many-year, like, you got your 15-year star again, right? Like, the guy that everyone was so upset to lose in Luka, you get it back. And so to then turn around 2 weeks later or a month later and say, you know what, actually, we'll go back to our 2 to 3 year contention window and we'll just let it rip with Giannis. Like, I get how that could be appealing, but I think Cooper's good enough right now that it doesn't stop you from going to chase a title. And I think long term, the ceiling and the consistent high level play you're going to get from him, again, for at least probably 8 to 9 years before he has a chance to really hit free agency, and then from there, I mean, who knows? But I think just organizationally, I don't know how you pass on the long term sell of having Cooper in your franchise for a long time.
So you think he's step in and play right away ready? I mean, he is one of the youngest guys in this draft, reclassified in high school. He's only 18 years old. Like, you think that even at this stage, he can step in and help them?
I think so. I think, again, within reason, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think if he's on the ball all the time, yeah, there's going to be some bumps and bruises, just like there were in college, especially early. I mean, remember, again, we're talking about his growth throughout the season. I mean, Cooper Flagg turned 18 right around Christmas. And right around Christmas was when the switch flipped and he went from, all right, this guy's really good, to like, yeah, this guy is obviously the best player in college basketball. Obviously not only just obviously number 1 pick, but obviously a potential transcendent talent in the league. And I think you will see him quickly adjust. It may not be the first month of the season, but I think by playoff time next year, Cooper Flagg will have found a way to make his imprint on the Mavs or whoever else ends up with him.
Yeah, the post-Christmas switch flip is true. Like, I was talking to John Shire about that this week, and he's like, whatever happened over Christmas break, he came back and he was a different player. Like, he was a transformed player. So you look at just that film and he looks like he's NBA ready. It's just interesting about the Giannis stuff. Like, there aren't. I look at the draft and I'm like, all right, well, San Antonio makes a lot of sense for Giannis. But if you're the Spurs and you're giving up the number 2 overall pick and a whole bunch of other pieces to make the money work, you are creating a window as well. Like, and maybe that's not a good thing for San Antonio, which is a bunch of guys led by Wembanyama that are in their early 20s. Like, you're creating kind of a 4-year window to win a championship. Same thing could probably be said for Houston, which is, can they hold on to Amen Thompson in a potential Giannis deal? So, I mean, Oklahoma City, same thing. Like, you could deal Jalen Williams, but you're committing 35% of your salary cap to Giannis Antetokounmpo. So it's certainly challenging out there. But I think it's interesting. I think my read on Giannis is like there's a 85% chance he gets traded. Like, I just think this is the year that he gets traded, although I'm not sure quite yet who the true front runner is on that.